Hi there and welcome into the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready for men's basketball action here in the 3C2A, the WSC-South, the 10-10 Bakersfield Renegades, the 6-4 College of the Canyons Cougars. I'm Matt Robinson, happy to have you along with us as always here on the Cougar Sports Network. College of the Canyons coming off back-to-back losses to Santa Monica and West LA. Had a game delayed again for the second time this season. Played West LA on Monday this week, lost 79-62. Trying to bounce back, find a win here against Bakersfield, who comes in actually having won their last after losing 2 in a row. Bakersfield just 2-4 in conference play. They've kind of struggled really ever since a 4-game winning streak back in November, starting when the 11th of November against Lemoore. They beat Lemoore, Barstow, Santa Barbara, and LA Pierce. Since then, it's been up and down and up and down and up and down. They've stayed at 500 at 10-10, just have not done as well as they would have liked in the WSC-South division. We talk about both sides. We look at the numbers for both sides. For College of the Canyons, 74.1 points per game. Bakersfield 71.5. The field goal percentage is nearly the same. Bakersfield almost a +1 in rebounds when we look down the line, both in the negative in net efficiency. For College of the Canyons, like we said, trying to win and stop a 2-game losing streak. They haven't had a win streak of any significance this year. They've only won single games and then have gone on losing streaks, so trying to buck that trend, hoping that they can get a little difference, hoping guys like Gilad Ziegel, who had a nice game, 32 points, 9 rebounds in 35 minutes. Actually, I think those numbers are incorrect, excuse me. So we'll just back out of that, but Gilad Ziegel had double-digit points in his last game out against West Los Angeles. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists in 31 minutes. One of his best performances of the season. 3 straight games with 10 or more points for Ziegel. And 7 of his last 8, he's had 10 or more points. So Canyons hoping he can help turn things around as the Cougars lineup will look like this tonight. It will be Donovan Cornelius, Wyatt Wilson, Mo Pitts, Justin Perez, and Gilad Ziegel in the starting 5 for College of the Canyons. For Bakersfield, Isaiah Perry, Khalil Shivers, Lendell Henderson, Ali Fell, and Joaquin Rios will get the start for Greg McCall, the first season head coach of the Renegades. Howard Fisher in his 25th year of College of the Canyons as the head man, trying to kind of turn the season around here late. It'll be tough for either of these sides to make the playoffs with how competitive the 3C2A is this year. For Canyons, 8 games left, and they pretty much have to go on a run and win all 8 to even get back to 500, including tonight's game against Bakersfield. And that would put them on the outside, probably looking in at the end of the day. For the Renegades at 2-4, 8 games left at 10-10. Win more than you lose, maybe vault up the standings a little bit. Try and track down Citrus, West LA, and Santa Monica, Glendale. Citrus, of course, leading the conference at 6-0. West LA at 4-1. And Santa Monica and Glendale tied at 3-2 on the season. Canyons wins the opening tip as Wyatt Wilson, who has won most of his tips this season, jumps and collects it. And Canyons will go to work offensively. Donovan Cornelius will drop it for Mo Pitts as the Cougars will go to work on the offensive side. Cornelius, step back jumper from 12 feet, no good. Rebound saved by Cornelius, collected by Bakersfield. Henderson up the floor, spinning in the lane, a left-hand layup that doesn't fall, and Ziegel puts down a defensive rebound. He gets trapped a couple of times by Bakersfield and turns it over. Canyons never came back to help him out. Bakersfield will get a 3 from Isaiah Perry, and the Renegades with a 3-0 lead. Perry, a 36% three-point shooter on the season. 32 of 87 coming into today's game, averages 7.8 points per game. As the Renegades on the board, here's Wilson, little stutter step fake, 12-footer, no good. Rebound, Perez tries to throw it inside to Ziegel, who puts it off the window and in. Gilad Ziegel continues his good streak, starts Canyons off with a bucket to make it 3-2. We talked about Ziegel, only averages 6.5 points per game, but 3 straight with 10 or more points, 7 of his last 8 in double figures. We'll hope he can keep that alive for Canyons. Bakersfield out of bounds that time. Isaiah Perry cutting across the baseline with a full head of steam. Did everything he could to just keep himself in play and just kind of fell out of bounds with his feet. Renegades in their visiting Reds, moving to our right in the first half. Canyons in their home whites. Cornelius will bring it up the floor for Canyons. Donovan Cornelius this season averaging 11.3 points per game. He's one of the leaders on the offensive side and really does a good job handling the ball as the point guard for the Cougars as well. He'll catch and collect. We'll send it to the near side to Wilson on the wing. He'll hold on and throw it to Pitts. Corner jumper from 18. Rattles in and out. Canyons not shooting well early on from the floor. They've had good looks, just have not been able to really collect other than the Ziegel bucket. Renegades back to work offensively. Here's another three for Bakersfield. That one no good, off the hands of Henderson. The Renegades this season as a group, just 31% from three, 66th in the state in three-point percentage. Donovan Cornelius on the other side, after we spoke about him a few moments ago, has his first bucket of the ball game, and Canyons has their first lead at 4-3. Here's Henderson with the basketball for Bakersfield. We'll ship it over to Ollie Fell. He'll drop it for Isaiah Perry. Back to Fell, will step into a straightaway three that's no good. Pitts will pull down the board, and Canyons will outlet quickly ahead to Wyatt Wilson. Wilson, foul line jumper as he drove, no good. Missed it off the left. Easy rebound that time for Fell, and Bakersfield will come back up the floor. Khalil Shivers with the basketball. The Renegades, last couple of games out, 17 three-point attempts, 29 three-point attempts, 6 and 9 made. Already so far in the ball game, they've taken 3 and made 1. Ziegel with another bucket on the transition offense for College of the Canyons, and they have their largest lead at 6-3. The Renegades this year, as we said, just 66% from three. They averaged 22.6 three-pointers attempted per game. Canyons gets another steal, and then Wilson had it knocked out of his hands as he tried to split two guys. Got lucky, it went out of bounds. It'll stay with Canyons here. Both these teams like to shoot the three a lot. They don't necessarily make a lot of threes. Bakersfield, 7 threes per game made, 39th in the state. Canyons, 6.8. They shoot 20.3. Canyons shoots a bit better from three, though, at 33%. That's 27th in the state. That's how tight things are with Bakersfield at 31st. Here's Perez, and a bounce pass from Ziegel. Was trying to draw contact. Looked at the officials as he ran up the floor. Didn't get the call. Howard Fisher doing the same as we continue on. Renegades will try and get it inside to Ollie Fell. He'll get it back to Shivers. A three-pointer for Perry on the near side as they move it around. No good. Rebound put back is there for Bakersfield as Lendell Henderson underneath. Cornelius back to work for Canyons. Now to Wilson with 8 to shoot. Drops it for Pitts. Pitts will drive to his right. Stops at the elbow. Sends it back into the corner to Wilson for 3, no good. Perez collected the rebound for a moment, but it'll be Bakersfield. It'll be out off of Bakersfield, then it'll be Canyons basketball. We'll see our first subs. As Roz Orbach in to take over from Mo Pitts here. Canyons into their rotation. Ziegel leading the way with 4 points for Canyons. Perry with 3 for Bakersfield. Just underway here in the first half. Here's Perez. Back to Cornelius. Thought about a straightaway 3, instead will back it off. Now Ziegel. Driving, got around, Fell, lays it off the window. And Gilad Ziegel showing flashes of that ability to drive with the basketball. Canyons without a true real big on the floor. They play small. Ziegel listed as a guard at 6'4". Him and Orbach, the biggest players on the floor, really body type wise. Ziegel again trying to work. This time was going against Famoso. Instead, Canyons will back it off. Here's Ziegel. Famoso trying to guard him as he's fresh into the game. Ziegel trying to go baseline and draws the foul. Goodwill Famoso picks up his first foul. First foul of the ball game here, which is a shock. 5 minutes in. Canyons games all season long have been some of the most penalized in the state. The Cougars draw 20.9 fouls per game. That's most in the state of California. Putback for Roz Orbach is good. They average 19.3 fouls per game, which is, in terms of most fouls against, 83rd or 86th in the state. So you talk about 40 fouls a game on average, but so far just one. Here's Fell trying to drive, sent it to the corner. Perry for three, short. Ziegel, an easy rip, and Canyons will work back up the floor. Cornelius, just 2 points so far in the ball game, will drop to Wilson, drops it to Perez, now to Ziegel in the corner. Inside Orbach, block extended, dumps it back Ziegel. He tries to work with the right hand, didn't get it to fall. That was a tough shot for Ziegel and a fall away. Good dish from Orbach. Canyons can use that ability from Orbach, and when he passes the ball well, there's a foul on the floor on the offensive side against Canyons. I think it went against Elad Ziegel. Talk about Orbach's ability to pass. When Orbach averages 3.2 assists in wins compared to just 1.4 in losses, so when he does not hold the ball and moves it around, it gives Canyons an extra wrinkle offensively. We'll see if they continue that here today. Leading 10-5. Justin Perez out of the game for the first time today as Donovan Chapman into the game. Bakersfield turns it over on the offensive set as Leviticus Latu couldn't collect the pass. And it'll be Canyons basketball with a 10-5 lead. 13:50 to go here in the first half. Second of a men's and women's basketball doubleheader here today. The Bakersfield women able to knock off Canyons in the first game. Wilson blocked and fouled, they say, underneath by Lendell Henderson. So Wilson will likely get to the line here. Wyatt Wilson, if he does make the trip to the line, 16 of 25, 64% from the line. He's had a tough stretch over the last three, held under 10 points in the last three. He was over 10 points in the previous three before that, so trying to find that magic once again. So he'll go to the line for the first time today. First trip to the line for either side. Wilson makes the first and makes it an 11-5 lead. Bakersfield will bring Khalil Shivers back in to take over for Lendell Henderson. He'll get his break on the bench. Wilson makes both foul shots. Canyons as a unit this year, 69% in the state. That's 39th. Or 69% from the line, I should say. It's 39th in the state. They average 23.4 foul shots per game, which is 16th, and they make 16.1, which is 15th. So certainly part of the game for the Cougars. Here's a two from Latu as he stepped on the line with his right foot but knocks it down. Leviticus Latu averages 7.3, has his first bucket. Canyons back to work offensively. Orbach fouled underneath the basket on a good dish from Donovan Chapman. And Orbach will get to the line for the second trip today. And Bakersfield wants a timeout as Greg McCall wants to talk things over. A full timeout. We'll take the break with them as well. 13-11 to go here in the first half. 12-7 Canyons over Bakersfield.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us. Comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Twelve to 7, College the Canyons leading Bakersfield as we continue on here. First half action. Cougars trying to break a 2-game losing streak. Bakersfield trying to find a 2-game winning streak for the third time this season. Roz Orbach at the line, misses the first of 2. Orbach this season from the line, shooting 71%, 38 of 53 coming into the game. Second one will rattle home. Stacey Webb will check in for the first time today to take over for Donovan Cornelius as Canyons works through the rest of their rotation here. Shivers will skip it across the floor. Rios had collected, now gets it back up top to Shivers. Shivers was working to his right, got it to Fell. Fell thought about a three, then tried to force one inside, swatted away by Orbach, picked up by Ziegel. Ziegel then an ugly shot, trying to fall away. Should have just turned that back around and probably got into a half-court set. Instead, it'll be Bakersfield basketball. Rios with the ball for the Renegades. We'll send it over. Famoso will get it back up top. Fell will work it around to Shivers. Shivers will step into a three behind a screen that's no good. Orbach with the easy rebound off inside position, and Webb will run the point and bring it up the floor. Ships it to Wilson now. Ziegel in the far corner. Dumps it inside Orbach. Orbach trying to back down Famoso. Puts it up with the left hand and a little AB hook. It's good. Orbach, his first bucket of the day. He's got 3 points now. Canyons with a 15-7 lead. Actually, Orbach should have 5. So Ziegel and Orbach, the two middlemen leading the way so far for Canyons. Donovan Chapman with a rebound. Outlets to Stacey Webb. Webb just sprinting it up the floor with pace. Stops into a foul line jumper with the left hand that's good. And Stacey Webb finds a bucket. So Canyons spreading the wealth right now. 5 different scorers for the Cougars. And they lead 17-7, a 10-point lead with 11:30 to go here in the first half. Shivers will drop the basketball for Latu. Latu working to his left, will dump it off for Rios. Rios spinning around in the lane, trying to get underneath. Now Famoso, contact and the foul underneath, and he'll get to the line. Good work from Rios this time on the dribble. Working against Wilson, just spinning around. Wilson stayed with him, but he was able to dump it off underneath, and Ziegel, Webb, both late across. Foul went against Galad Ziegel, his second, so he's going to have to go to the bench for probably the remainder of this first half with 11:19 to go. As Goodwill Famoso will go to the line for the first time today. Famoso 60% from the line, 18 of 30 on the season. Misses on the foul shot, an easy rebound for Donovan Chapman, and Canyons will bring it back up the floor calmly. Chapman on the near wing will send it up to Stacey Webb. Webb guarded by Shivers. Canyons will weave here, and they mishandled the basketball. A turnover by Perez, and an easy bucket for Joaquin Rios. Bakersfield, they don't have one guy that really dominates the ball. Ollie Fell, their leader at 14.3 points per game. They kind of spread it around to everybody else who's in the top 10 on their roster. They're really the 10-man rotation they run. Orbach missed. Webb will try a three on the offensive rip. No. Wilson pokes out the rebound back to Webb. Now Orbach will take a three. That's good. Roz Orbach knocks down a three. Not often does he take threes, but he knocks it down. And Orbach, who's a 20% three-point shooter, now is 6th of the season, pushes the lead back up to 9. Here's Rios trying to drive. Got it to Shivers. Shivers going baseline. Stopped up there. Sent it to Latu for 3. It's good. Leviticus Latu knocks down a 3. He's got 5 points. It's his first 3 of the ball game. Usually about a 40% three-point shooter on the season. Canyons back to work. Step back 18-footer from Chapman was no good on an air ball. Bakersfield trying to run the fast break the other way. Three-pointer from Shivers, no good. A long rebound picked up by Webb. Webb wanting to sprint it up the floor. Had it knocked out of his hands by Latu. It'll be Canyons basketball, and we'll see subs as Gian Figueroa and Georges Aldenor coming in to take over for Orbach and Chapman. Canyons deep into their bench here. Webb will collect. Latu fell down. Then Latu going to be called for a foul as he kicked his leg out to try and block Webb, and they actually say he grabbed him by the arm as well. Be the 3rd foul on Bakersfield. 4th foul, excuse me, as it ticks ahead on Bakersfield. 20-14, a 6-point Canyons lead with 9:39 to go here in the first half. Here's Perez with the basketball for Canyons. Got it to Wilson, now to Webb. Webb trying to go baseline. And Latu going to be called for another foul, that time kicking his hip out. 2 quick fouls on Latu will send him to the bench. And we'll see a Bakersfield substitution as Isaiah Perry will come back in. So another 20-second reset for Canyons. They'll inbound to Abdelnour. Abdelnour skipping it inside to Perez, who just got forced off the basketball. Bakersfield back the other way. Perry's laying no good. Tip back didn't fall. Ball found its way to Webb on the rebound. He sprints it ahead, 3-on-2, trying to dump it to Perez. And Shivers got a hand on it. It'll be Canyons basketball. They tried to run the fast break unsuccessfully that time. Donovan Cornelius up at the table. He'll take over for Wyatt Wilson here. And there's a foul on Joaquin Rios before the ball even got inbounded. 6th foul on Bakersfield. So next one will put Canyons at the line for 1-1. Abdelnour will drop. Cornelius waits, got it to Perez. He'll put up a 3, no good, too strong. Rebound bounced around, came to Cornelius underneath. His putback didn't fall. And then Bakersfield never reestablished on the inbound play as Markel Brooks was out of bounds. And it'll go back to Canyons here. So the Cougars getting some good breaks right now, even though they haven't made a bucket out of it. So Ollie Fell will check back in. 4 turnovers on the Renegades, 3 on the Cougars. 17-8 the rebounds in favor of Canyons here in the first half. Abdelnour dropping for Cornelius. Cornelius now to Perez. Perez trying to penetrate. Instead we'll dump it back to Webb. Webb working off the Perez screen. Goes against foul, kicks it in the corner. Cornelius for 3, an air ball, no good. Perry pulls it away from Perez. Outlets ahead. Dante King had it blocked. Canyons going back the other way. Perez has it swatted by Brooks. And now Perry will run it back up the floor. Perry into the corner. King, an air ball 3. Abdelnour came down with it. Figueroa, 3-on-2. Tries to drive. A blocking foul will send Figueroa to the line. Back and forward, up and down the floor. Neither team really getting anything of substance. As you see the foul that time, and sends Figueroa to the line for 2 shots. Figueroa from the line this season, 85%, 6 of 7. Broadcaster Jinx. Well, Pitts back in for Justin Perez. Figueroa knocks down the second of 2, so he splits the pair, make it 21-14 Canyons. Shivers now for Bakersfield. A little awkward pass. Thought he was going to try and get it inside, changed his mind as Fell kind of got knocked away. Now Shivers back with it at the block, dumps it to Fell. Fell muscled his way inside. And a foul going to be called against Canyons down low. Goes against Donovan Cornelius for a reach in here. Take a look with Shivers driving. And 3 men around him found Fell, and then Fell was able to just draw the foul against Cornelius, so he'll go to the line. Ollie Fell, 72% from the line, 67 of 93 on the year. 4 straight games with 10 or more points for him. He had 10 straight earlier in the season. He's the leading scorer for Bakersfield at 14.3 points per game. Does most of his work from the interior, 104 of 219 before the game today. Makes the foul shot just his first point of the ball game. He's 0 for 2. Both his shots were 3-pointers. He didn't make either of them. Lead back down to 6 for the moment. Pitts with the basketball for Canyons. Got it to Orbach. Orbach working, now driving, draws some contact, and Orbach will go to the line. A little awkward falling shot from Roz Orbach that time. As you can see, Orbach just kind of in isolation here, was looking to hand it off, decided to use those skills as a guard and dribble. He gets himself to the line for the second trip today. Orbach 1 of 2 from the line. Makes the first of 2 this time. Wilson back in for Stacy Webb. Canyons out rebounding Bakersfield 19-10. Orbach misses the second of 2, so the lead will go to 7. Canyons, they've not had a plus rebound margin in the last 5 games. They were even against Glendale in their 96-74 win, and they were in the positive against LA Pierce. It's the only time Canyons has actually won 2 in a row this season, actually. I think they haven't won 2 in a row yet this year, and that's, I was mistaken. They beat LA Pierce, then beat Glendale out of the break. Pitts will pick up a foul. Khalil Shivers will go to the line. Shivers 64% from the line this season. Has to tie his shoe back up. Just the 4th foul on Canyons. 8 fouls on Bakersfield here with 7:12 to go. So Canyons shooting 1 and 1. Shivers misses the first of 2. It's too much on it. Neither team lighting the world up from the floor so far today. Offensive rebound for Bakersfield, but then a turnover as Markel Brooks was trying to throw it back out high, and there was nobody there. The table had to watch themselves as that one nearly took them out. Canyons 8 of 24 from the floor and 1 of 5 from 3. Bakersfield 5 of 18 from the floor and 1 of 9 from beyond. 22-15 the score. Canyons leading. Cornelius will send it over to Orbach, now to Pitts. Pitts works back out beyond the perimeter, skips it inside to Abdelnour. It was knocked out by Brooks. It'll stay with Canyons here with 13 to shoot. Abdelnour will catch out beyond the 3-point line, drops for Pitts. He'll put up a 3 that's good. Mo Pitts, who's had a rough go at times this year, his 18th 3 of the season. Stretches the Canyons lead to 10. There's Perry. Stopped his dribble. Miss pass down to Fell. That's another turnover by Brooks. Second misconnected pass by Markel Brooks. Bakersfield Canyons, will make some subs as Donovan Chapman back in the game to take over for Abdelnour. With 6.5 to go here in the first half, 25-15. Canyons leading Bakersfield here from Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage. Chapman looking for his first bucket. Well contested by Fell that time. Had too much on it, trying to get it over the top of him. Shivers now trying to drive. Brooks lost the handle but got it over. 3-pointer, an air ball from King. Ball bounced back to Brooks. He missed on the putback. Ball goes out off of Orbach. It'll be Bakersfield basketball with 6:02 to go. Gustavo Chavez up at the table. He'll check in. Lindell Henderson running onto the floor as well as Perry and King come off the floor. First of two meetings today between Canyons and Bakersfield. They'll close out the season at Bakersfield on February 21st, barring any fires or, at this point, earthquakes. Who knows? Weird start to 2025. Fires down in Pacific Palisades, canceling Pacific Palisades, and actually we should say the Eden Fire as well, out in Adelanto. Altadena, sorry. Both canceling games earlier in the year. Both these teams have that come about. So three that's no good, and Wilson pulls down a rebound. Here's Pitts looking for his second three, missed it off the right. Wilson a rebound. From outside position, Wilson was able to sky his way in and pull that one down. Now Chapman will send to Cornelius. Cornelius with 6 to shoot, dumps it, Orbach got it to Wilson, tried to slam it over the top of Famoso, but he was able to get enough of a hand on it to defend it. Now Shivers on the other side, his pass knocked away by Orbach. Howard Fisher still arguing, wanting a foul. Oh, and actually he's trying to say that Famoso's hand went through the rim. Unfortunately, not going to be able to take a look and see on the replay, as we didn't think to stop it at that point. There is no replay here in the 3C2A. Shivers, follow-away jumper, no good. Nice defense from Canyons to force a tough shot. Cougars will go back to work, leading by 10, 25-15. Cornelius. Inside to Orbach. Orbach working against Fell, looking for help. Tried to shoulder him down, now puts up a jumper, no. Chapman the rebound. Chapman tried to bounce it off of a Renegade, but it stayed in play, just unlucky that time. And Chavez will bring it back up the floor. He's defended by a couple of Cougars. He'll pick it back up. Working against Pitts, now we'll step into a three that's no good. Easy rebound for Donovan Cornelius. Canyons quickly ahead to Pitts. Pitts will get it back to Cornelius. He'll try and drive into the paint. Backs it off now, and Canyons will work into a half-court offense. Cornelius catching down below the block, working against Fell. Draws the foul against Ollie Fell. Cornelius will go to the line. Cornelius, one of the better free throw shooters on the team this year. 77% from the line. 77 of 100 coming into the game today. He's 41st in the state in terms of that number. Gets to the line often. You look, his season high against Orange Coast was the line 7 times, went 5 of 7 from the line. Makes the first. It's an 11-point lead for Canyons. That game he was actually 7 of 8 from the floor. And 3 of 3 from beyond. That was one of his best offensive game of the season, but one of his best all-around games of the year as well. 2 foul shots good, lead is up to 12. Fell will leave the basketball for Henderson as Wilson was trying to find a steal and fell down. The three-pointer was no good. Tipped rebound came to Shivers, and he's got a bucket. Canyons just needs to get the ball in play. Cornelius was standing outside, waiting for somebody to come back. So nobody went to inbound the basketball. Cornelius wanting to drive, lost the ball. They say it went off of Ollie Fell. Big Slatu checking back in with his 2 fouls. There's Orbach. Drops it for Mo Pitts. Pitts to Wilson. Now to Cornelius far side. Up top Wilson. Pitts again with 5 to shoot. Wants to drive against Latu. Tries to draw contact. Puts up a fall-away jumper that didn't fall. Famoso was able to tip the rebound ahead. Henderson ran into a Cougar and lost the basketball. He looks uncomfortable, calling for a substitution here. Cornelius on the other side draws contact and a foul, and Donovan Cornelius will go back to the line. Moso picks up his second. Cornelius, the first of two, is good. Canyon's in the plus with 2:55 to go, so they'll shoot the penalty the rest of the way. Justin Perez back in. Mo Pitts off the floor. Canyons with a 28-17 lead. Cornelius at the line, shooting his second of two. Perfect from the line so far. Looking to stretch it back to a 12-point lead. Does. Lindell Henderson will get some treatment from the athletic training staff over at the table right now, as it was his ankle, I believe, that was bothering him. That actually brought Isaiah Perry back in. Donovan Cornelius back off the floor. Stacey Webb checked back in. 29-17, Canyons out in front. Here's Shivers with the basketball, working to his right now. Perez staying right with him. Wilson tried for the steal, couldn't get it. Shivers will send it back to Brooks. Brooks will dump it off to Latu. Latu, stop-up jumper, top of the key, no good. Orbach skies and rips down the rebound, nearly threw the outlet away. But Webb was able to keep a hold of it, and now Canyons will work into a half-court offense. Webb to his left, drops it back Perez. Perez trying to drive, ran into a couple of bodies, still working against Ollie Fell. Tried to throw it over to Cornelius, or Chapman had to tip it to Chapman actually. And now 6 to shoot for Canyons. Webb still working, needs to put one up. Does with the left, gets the roll. Stacey Webb all by himself that time. Makes it 31-17. Webb's now got 4. And with 1:50 to go, Canyons has their largest lead of the day at 14. They get a takeaway. An outlet ahead, Perez off the window. Goaltending going to be called against Ollie Fell. And Perez has his first bucket of the day. And Canyons with a 33-17 advantage over Bakersfield with 1:43 to go in the first half. Here's Shivers. Will drop it for Perry. Now to Brooks. Latu as Bakersfield continues around the perimeter. Now Latu trying to drive. Kicked it back to Perry. Perry trying to drive baseline, and he stepped on the baseline, they say, as Wilson was in good defensive position. Mo Pitts will take over for Justin Perez here with 1:22 to go. And a 33-17 Canyons lead. All working so far here for Canyons. The defense has really kicked it up, holding Bakersfield to 16 of 26 and 1 of 13 from 3. Pitts for Canyons. Skips it down. Orbach back to Pitts, cutting off the window and good over the top of Fell. 35-17. Pitts now with 5 points. Inside of 60 seconds to go in the first half. Shivers now works off the screen. Follow-away jumper, no good. Rebound, Webb. Webb fires it ahead. Wilson catches. Lost the ball, though, trying to dribble it out of some trouble. So a turnover here late on Canyons. 32 seconds to go in the first half. Shivers thought about a 3, instead kicked it to Perry. He'll put up a 3 that's good. Second triple for Isaiah Perry to stop the bleeding and get Bakersfield to 20 with 20 seconds to go here in the first half. 15-point Canyons advantage. The Cougars will play for the last shot. Webb still working. Lays it off the window with the left hand as he changes hands in midair. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. Bakersfield with a heave that does not go. 37-20, a 17-point Canyons lead at the halftime break. We'll step aside and go to it as well. Second half when we come back.
Welcome to College of the Canyons, where students become the success stories of tomorrow. Whether you're already in the workforce or just getting started, our flexible schedules are a game changer. And students don't just earn degrees. They catapult into desirable careers in top 4-year universities for just $46 per unit. Quality education without crushing debt. Ditch the cookie-cutter mold of college and make college work for you. Register now at canyons.edu/schedule.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So,
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us, comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the Shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Make hosting your next event easy with the Dr. Diane G. Van Hook University Center. With over 30 meeting spaces, wireless video teleconferencing capabilities, food service, and technical support available, the University Center has everything you need to make your next event shine. Conveniently located near the 5 and 14 freeways in Santa Clarita, the University Center offers easy access to local airports and many attractions, making it the ideal meeting place for everyone. To learn more about our rental options or to book now, visit canyons.edu/University Center.
Welcome back into Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage as we continue men's basketball action. College of the Canyons, Bakersfield Renegades. Canyons with a 37-20 lead over Bakersfield at the halftime break. Cougars one of their better first halves defensively of the season. Well, Bakersfield to just 7 of 28 from the floor. Canyons defensively this year has not been great. Opponents shooting 46% against them, but certainly a solid first half performance. Bakersfield 2 of 14 from 3. Canyons 2 of 7 from 3 and 13 of 34 from the floor. Cougars with 9 free throws made in that first half. There's another missed 3 from Bakersfield out of the halftime break. And then counted in the foul on an and one opportunity for Goodwill Famoso. Renegades had 9 first half turnovers, Canyons with 5. Rebounds were 26-19 in favor of College of the Canyons in that first half. But Famoso with Bakersfield off on the right foot. Missed on the foul shot. So it's a 15-point Canyons lead. Cornelius for Canyons will work it up the floor. Arnold Ochoa into the game for the first time, guarding tightly. Canyons able to slip it to Webb, but he missed on a lay-in. Howard Fisher wanting a foul. They say no, we continue on. Rios now will send it over. Fell. Famoso finds Rios cutting to the basket. Right-hander off the window, no good. Perez the rebound. We'll send it over to Donovan Cornelius, who will work it up the floor. Cornelius. 6 points in the first half for him. Canyons was led by Orbach, who had 9. Here's Pitts for 3. Too soft. Went off the front of the rim. Famoso the rebound. The fast break trying to get it to Fell, who's blocked from behind by Wilson. Famoso then just, I think, had the ball tipped out of his hands on the layup attempt and never got it to the bucket. A little sloppy from both sides as Zigel nearly turned it over, but Cornelius was there to clean it up for him. Here's Pitts offensively. He'll put up a 3. No good. Cornelius, the offensive rebound under the basket. Had it knocked away by Rios. It'll stay with Canyons. And Howard Fisher already wants a timeout here. Just a minute and 51 seconds into the second half. His first timeout taken of the ball game, a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. For Bakersfield, Isaiah Perry with 6 leading the way. Famoso with 4. It's been pretty even in terms of everything else in the ball game. Just the outlying numbers are the tough shooting percentage for Bakersfield being held to 24% from the floor, well below their lowest of the season, which was 35% against West LA and Allen Hancock. And they've shot just 6 foul shots in the ball game. Their lowest of the season was 4 against Santa Monica. They only got to the line 4 times against the Corsairs. That's the big outlier right now. Canyons to the line 12 times in the ball game. They work with the basketball here. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Webb, foul line jumper with the left hand, no good. Was too flat. Canyons gets a takeaway and Zigel gets a lay-in. Good defense from Canyons that time. Good job by Zigel to stay with it. He's got 6 now. Scratch that, give him 8. On the other side, a miss from Brooks. Canyons back with another defensive board. Cornelius sends it to Wilson on the far side. Wilson on the far wing, skips it to Cornelius. Working against the smaller Ochoa. Cornelius gonna be called for an offensive foul. Too heavy on the lean that time. Howard Fisher wasn't happy with that call. see the little shoulder bump from Cornelius that time. It'll be Renegades basketball here, 39-22. Rios, 17-footer, too much on it. Wilson the rebound, outlet Cornelius, ahead Ziegel, dumps Perez, good passing from Canyons in transition. Perez gets the bucket, he's got 4 points now, and it's 41-22 Canyons here in the second half. Here's Brooks, we'll send it over to Shivers. Top to Rios for three, too much on it, rebound kicks around, picked up by Bakersfield. Shivers will try a three himself. Missed it off the right. Bakersfield continues to be ice cold from three here in the ball game. Two more empty three-pointers, just 2 of 17, shooting 11% from three. Their lowest output of the season from three was 15% against Glendale. And they just have not found anything from beyond today. Perry checking back in for Bakersfield. Here's Ziegel for Canyons. Driving, laying it off the rack and in. Ziegel in double figures for the 4th straight game. And the 8th time in the last 9. Halad Ziegel trying to start to come alive, the freshman out of Woodland Hills, Taft High School. Shivers kicks it back, a three. Markel Brooks knocks one down. Stops a little bit of the Bakersfield bleeding. Brooks 16 of 33 on the season now as he's 1 for 1 today. Shivers going to be called for a foul away from the basket. Second Bakersfield foul. Second on Shivers, I believe. Perry checking out. Dante King coming in. Cornelius had it blocked underneath by Brooks. Bakersfield having their way down low with Canyons. Shivers then just driving through everyone right to the basket, lays it in. Renegades coming out in a full court press here. Cornelius dribbling himself out of trouble. Gets it to Wilson, now to Orbach, and they play catch on the near side. Here's Pitts. Ziegel. Ziegel trying to work against Shivers. 2 big steps, he's fouled on the floor. Foul going against, I believe, Famoso. Scratch that one against Shivers. Picks up his 3rd. Perez will check in to take Ziegel. Latu will check in to take over for Shivers. Canyons with 20 seconds on the shot clock to work here. Leading 43-27. Here's Pitts. Perez looking for a three, would be his first of the ball game, missed. Canyons has only made 2 threes, 2 of 10 now. Latu trying to drive. Sent it over to King. King to the basket. Wilson got a hand on it. They thought it was goaltending, did Bakersfield, but they continue on. Perez on the other side. Counted in the foul for Perez in transition as he got run over by Markel Brooks after making the bucket. So initially starts with the block from Wilson. And then Perez trying to complete the three-point play on the other end now. Perez with 6. First trip to the line today for Justin Perez, who's a 76% foul shooter. Makes the foul shot. Stacey Webb into the game to take over for Donovan Cornelius. These Canyons will get through their rotation here in the second. So Canyons with their largest lead of the day, 45-27. It's an 18-point lead at the moment. Latu with the basketball for Bakersfield into the front court. Guarded by Webb. Works to his right. Still guarded by Webb. Stops his dribble on the right wing. Sends to Brooks, who will leave it up top for Ochoa. Ochoa wanting to drive. Kicks back Brooks, looking for a three. Missed off the right side. Perez the rebound. Canyons wants to get out in transition again. Pitts will try a transition three that's good. Mo Pitts with his second three of the ball game. Give him 8, and the lead is 22. Canyons using the transition game right now effectively. Bakersfield, another miss from outside. Renegades have not been able to get inside at all against Canyons. Bakersfield with no points in the paint so far in the ball game, at least the way the statistics read. Canyons not credited with any as well, but Perry back in, Shivers back on the floor. Chapman back in to take over for Wilson. 13:30 to go. Canyons with a 22-point lead, 49-27. Here's Perry looking for a three. Rattles in. Perry now with 9. Cuts the lead back down to 19. Chapman couldn't finish the reverse layup. Orbach trying to fight for the loose ball. Bakersfield comes away with it. Shivers dribbling out of trouble. Sends it Famoso. Dumps it underneath. And an easy bucket for Markel Brooks. And then Canyons just a turnover ahead. Lazy pass that time from Webb. Three-pointer from Shivers, no good. Pitts collects the rebound and sends it to Webb. And Howard Fisher puts a hand out and says, slow things down, as the lead is 17. Here's Orbach, drops. Chapman drives off the window with the right hand as he spins it off the glass. Chapman's first bucket of the day. 1 for 4 from the floor. Lead back to 19 for the moment. Here's Famoso. Latu working to his left off the Famoso screen. Euro step, lost the ball, got it back, got it to Shivers. A three is an air ball. Perez collects. Canyons wants to get out and run again. Perez, 2 steps, draws a blocking foul, and gets to the line once again. See, Perez collects the rebound, does it all himself this time as he runs it up the floor. And you see the foul on Perry. 2 shots for Perez, who's 1 for 1 from the line today. Talked about Perez, 76% from the line. 50 foul shots made on the season, misses the first. Substitutions here, Rios checking back in. Gian Figueroa coming in as well. Bakersfield took Markel Brooks off the floor. Orbach off as well as Galazigel back in. Perez misses both. An empty set for Perez at the foul line. You do not like that if you're Howard Fisher and company. Famoso working against Perez. Perez not going to have much luck with Famoso down low. Bakersfield going to call a timeout here as Greg McCall wants to discuss things. 51-34, 11:42 to go. Timeout on the floor. We'll break with it. Point advantage, 51-34, 11:42 to go. Canyons with the basketball out in front. Bakersfield again in a full court press, trying to trap the Cougars right now. Canyon's going to be able to get it across the timeline. They'll find Ziegel, 2 big steps, and he doesn't finish it on a slam. It went off the wiring. And I know Howard Fisher just kind of tilts his head to the side. I know Ziegel wants to try and dunk it, but for a team that's 6-14, just finish it off, finish it with a layup and get the points. Nonetheless, it's still a 17-point lead. Perry falling down, was trying to draw contact, didn't get there. Ziegel wants to sprint out in front, kicks it to Pitts for 3 in the corner, no good. Ziegel, the rebound, tried to put it back in the air, didn't get it to fall. Webb lost the ball as he had the rebound, then Perry on the other side finishes. Isaiah Perry now with 11 points. Canyons basketball off the attempted takeaway from Bakersfield. Only Perry and Ziegel in double figures. Cornelius back in to take over for Webb. Cornelius, good little stutter step to take 2 defenders. Break it across the timeline. He'll work with the basketball. It's been a quiet night for Cornelius offensively, 6 points. But Canyons has spread the ball. Bakersfield really has as well when you look down the list. Just 2 players, 1 for each side in double figures. Wilson, a 3 that falls. Wyatt Wilson's first 3 of the day and his first field goal of the day is 1 for 7 now. He's got 5 points. This other 2 coming from the line. Rios, good step into the lane and a bucket. Bakersfield again putting up the pressure here. Canyons will get it across the timeline. Pitts, Ziegel, backs Famoso off and puts it in. 56-38, the lead is 18. Ziegel now with 12 to lead everybody on the floor for both sides. Rios driving, stopping at the block. Got it to Famoso, trying to take Ziegel off the dribble. Instead, stops his dribble, has to dump it out to Shivers. Shivers working off the Famoso screen. His pass deflected. Wilson trying to steal it. Rios able to come back up with it, and they're going to stop the play as the shot clock reset. And they're going to put 4 seconds on the shot clock for Bakersfield on the sideline. Perry and Rios off the floor. Ochoa and Latu back on. Canyons also making a substitution as Figueroa off, brings in Donovan Chapman once again. And now there's discussion on where the shot clock was. I didn't see where the shot clock was, so I can't tell you. I think I've heard 4 seconds about 3 times, so. Canyons gets a takeaway. Ziegel nearly dribbled into trouble. Now he just drives, laid it off the window. No. Bakersfield will go back the other way. Shivers into the corner. Ochoa kicks it back to Shivers. Shivers spinning. Good body control, but couldn't get it to fall. Famoso got the rebound and put it in. Somebody needs to inbound the basketball. This is the second time today everybody from Canyons has run up the floor. They need to get it in, and they're going to be called for a 5-second violation. So a 56-40 game with 8:53 to go. A timeout on the floor. We'll break with it. 56-40, Canyons leading Bakersfield, down to 16 at the moment. Latu off the inbound, misses on a three. Renegades able to take it away from Wilson, and they'll keep the basketball. It was knocked out of bounds by Wilson. For Bakersfield, Perry with 11 points, his third straight game in double figures. There's Latu. Trying to throw it inside. Chavez just cutting through, able to get the ball back. Now Shivers underneath. Latu throws one up that doesn't fall. Canyons will recollect with Perez. And now Cornelius will have to try and get himself out of some trouble. Sends it ahead to Perez. Now Canyons in a half-court offense leading by 16. Dribble handoff again, second time today. And there's a tie-up possession with Canyons. Second time today we've seen the dribble handoff from Canyons result in a miscatch. That time they get lucky it's not a full turnover, as they were able to get the possession back and change the arrow here. There's Perez to Wilson. Now to Cornelius. 6 to shoot, trying to drive, lost the ball, out of play. And we'll see substitutions for Canyons. Webb and Orbach in. So it's still a 16-point advantage. Shivers trying to back down Perez. Canyons trying to double down low. Foul going to be called on Canyons. This foul going to go to the line. Went against Wilson. You'll see the block here. Didn't get over quick enough. And I think Chapman got his hand on the ball to keep it out of the basket. So foul will have to look for two the hard way from the line. 2 of 3 from the line today. Canyons has held him very quiet. Foul just 2 points, both of those coming on foul shots. He's not made a field goal yet today. Here's Canyons on the offensive side off the miss in a 15-point ball game. Good pass from Orbach. But Famoso with a block on Chapman. Bakersfield trying to run the fast break. Fouled by Webb. They gave it to Wilson, his third. He picks up back-to-back quick fouls. Canyons trying to work inside. Bakersfield, the big bodies down low. 5 blocks in the ball game. First of 2 from Fell is good. Chapman comes off the floor. Ziegel back in. Fell makes the second. And the lead that was 22, now down to 13. And another Canyons turnover. 13th turnover of the ball game on Canyons. It's part of those growing pains from the Cougars this year. It is a young squad, only 1 sophomore in Roz Orbach. And you see it, it's kind of a still learning how to win, still learning how to play together, and when the pressure picks up, kind of starting to let things go. Instead of stepping on the gas and really putting Bakersfield away, up by 22, they backed off. And Bakersfield has it back down to a 13-point game. Miss on a late jumper from Shivers. Webb with the rebound. Webb, who had 6 points and 6 boards, or 5 boards in the first half. Hasn't scored yet here in the second. Here's Wilson from the foul line. Has it poked away from him by Latu. They fight for the ball. It's loose. It's out of play off of Latu, and it's Canyons basketball. Pitts back in the game for Wilson here. 9 seconds for Canyons to get it back up the floor and get a shot away. Perez to Orbach. Pitts needs to put it up with 2. Foul line jumper off the window, doesn't fall. Perez, the rebound and the putback is there. Good work from Justin Perez down low. 7.7 boards in the ball game. Or actually 9.7 rebounds in the ball game, as that'll change ahead. Orbach with a rebound. His 7th. Canyons gets a much-needed stop. Back to a 15-point lead. Here's Ziegel. Pitts on the near side wing. Sends it to Perez. He'll try for a 3. Too strong. Pitts cruising through, couldn't control the rebound. Bakersfield will get it up the floor as Ochoa will drop it off to Shivers. Shivers getting it inside. Rios working around Ziegel with the left hand, lays it in. Renegades again in that full court press, and they're going to get called for a foul. Shivers on a push in the back, going to pick up his 4th foul as he knocks into Pitts. 6th Bakersfield foul. Renegades will bring Brooks, King, and Perry back into the game. Famoso, Ochoa, and Latu off the floor. Canyons into their half-court set now here. Ziegel spinning, foul line, fall away, jumper didn't fall. Here's Perry now. King, good pass on a jump stop. Easy bucket for Joaquin Rios. Rios now with 8, and Bakersfield within 11 now. Here's Orbach, he'll try for a 3, knocked one down earlier, missed there. It's an 11-point Canyons lead. Bakersfield trailed by 22, making a 9-point game. As Rios now in double figures with 10. And another near turnover by Canyons. Ziegel now will try and drive. 2 steps off the window, puts it in. Timeout Howard Fisher. 60-49, 4:21 to go. We'll break. Back inside the Smelser court here inside the Cougar cage. 14-16 Canyons led by 22 at 49 to 27. And since then, Bakersfield has cut it back to an 11-point game. Outscored Canyons 22-11 since that mark here in the second half. So Canyons needs to try and find what they had going early on, and they will get a turnover off an inbound by Bakersfield. That is a huge, huge break for Canyons, who's turned the ball over 13 times today. Bakersfield now 12. Cougars have only had 3 single-digit turnover games this season, so it's not uncommon for the Cougars to be in double digits on turnovers. They get blocked again. Sixth block of the ball game as Brooks with another one. King going to be called for a travel. Spun in the paint, had about 3 steps. And then the whistle was finally blown. Bakersfield going to be called for a foul and a trap as Webb was able to work his way out of the problem. Goes against Joaquin Rios, his third. Bakersfield still in that full court press. Trying to turn up the heat here. Canyons leading 60-49. They put too many fouls, I think, on the scoreboard. I think that's where the problem is. And I think the fouls are right. I think the scoreboard just missed putting one up. So it'll put Cornelius at the line for 1 and 1. Misses on the second. It's a 10-point ball game here as Bakersfield gets a bucket. Brought to my attention that our scoreboard says the first half, but it is the second half with 3:31 to go. Unfortunately, our scoreboard is controlled by the scoreboard here in the building, and it still says the first half here. The scoreboard in the building, it also says there's a team in the bonus. Or the Canyons is in the double bonus, which they are not. They are just in the bonus with 3:31 to go. Perry with 11 points. Rios with 10. Ziegel, the only Cougar in double figures, with 14. Then you have Perez, Orbach at 9, Pitts at 8. Cornelius goes to work, gets it to Webb, now Pitts. Wilson on the far side. Now Webb. Here's Orbach with 5 to shoot, tries to drive baseline, puts it off the window. Huge bucket from Roz Orbach. here late in the ball game to stretch the lead back up to 12. 2:50 to go. Rios trying to drive. Cornelius got up in the air, and it's going to be a foul on Donovan Cornelius. You can see Cornelius gets up in the air on the replay. And just kind of goes over the back of him. Rios misses the first of two. Rios' first trip to the line today. Shoots 61% from the line on the season. Brooks checks out for Bakersfield as I think they brought Shivers back in. Didn't see who subbed in for him. 1 of 2 for Bakersfield from the line. It's an 11-point ball game. Foul on Bakersfield, a push in the back going against Leviticus Latu. His third foul will send Canyons to the line. Wyatt Wilson will make the trip. Wilson made his first 2 foul shots back in the first half. Chance to try and extend it back to at least a 12-point lead, if not a 13-point lead, if he can make both. First from Wilson is good. 6 points on the day for him, just 1 of 7 from the floor. His only field goal was a 3. He makes both foul shots. Ollie Fell back in. Fell has had a rough night today. 0 for 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 from 3, 4 of 6 from the line. He's got 7 rebounds at least, but when Canyons can hold Bakersfield leading scorer in Fell, who averages double figures to just 4 points, forcing Bakersfield to find other help. It's been a little bit of the difference of the ball game here. Fell, triple team down low. We'll send it over to Latu. Now they'll get it to Rios at the line. Working against Pitts. Gets through a couple of bodies but missed. Ball kicks around. It goes off the end line. It's Canyons basketball. Renegades 20 of 60 from the floor today. 4 of 24 from 3, 5 of 12 from the line. Canyons 13 of 19 from the line, 24 of 63 from the floor, and 4 of 15 from 3. And now a foul on Latu, Leviticus Latu again, is 4th for holding Wyatt Wilson, who will go to the line for 1 and 1. Perry coming back into the game. Wilson makes the first, stretches it back to a 14-point lead. Make it 15. Fell coming back in. He was off the floor for a moment. Now he's back in there again. Dante King checking out. 67-52, inside of 2 minutes to go. Canyons leading Bakersfield. Here's Perry. Perry now catches off the pass from Fell. Works to the baseline, runs into some trouble, sent it up to Shivers. Shivers wanted to drive. Shivers able to back down Wilson, put up the first, punched up the second, got his own rebound, and has a third opportunity and gets it to fall. And a timeout called by Greg McCall in a 13-point game with 91 seconds to go. Bakersfield with 2 timeouts left, Canyons with 5. Canyon's next foul will let them shoot the penalty the rest of the way. And they have one foul to give before they put Bakersfield at the line. Again, Bakersfield trying to trap here. Canyon's able to pass their way through it. That was one of the best trap breaks we've seen from Canyons in a while. All perpetuated off the handling of Donovan Cornelius. They try and force one that Rios got a hand on, but Wilson was able to recollect. Now Cornelius trying to drive. Got fouled underneath by Shivers and will send Cornelius to the line. If that's on Shivers, that's his fourth. No, or that's his fifth, excuse me, but they gave it to Famuso. So Cornelius to the line. Cornelius 5 of 6 from the line today. And pretty much how it always goes. Canyons trying to get to 3-4 on the conference season and pick up just their 7th win of the year, snap a 2-game losing streak. With 66 seconds to go and a 67-54 lead. Make it a 14-point lead now as Cornelius makes the second of 2. Famoso. Got it to Shivers. Now up to Perry. Perry wants to drive, has to stop in the lane, kicks back Shivers. 3 with 7 on the shot clock was flat. Rebound poked out. Perry's shot blocked by Pitts. They fight for it. And it should not have been a shot clock violation. The shot clock never got reset. There's 15 seconds on the shot clock here for Bakersfield. Now 10 for Bakersfield. Rios trying to drive. Cornelius knocks it out of his hand. That'll leave 7 on the shot clock. Now Perry, a 3 on the inbound, no good. Orbach the rebound. The shot clock is off with 18 seconds to go and a 68-54 lead. Canyons will dribble out the final few moments. The Cougars will get to 7-14 on the year and 3-4 in conference play. For the Renegades, they fall a game below 500 and 2 games below 500 in the WSC-South. A good win for the Cougars. Got a little squirrely there towards the midpoint of the second half, but they're able to come away with the win. They take it 68-54 over Bakersfield. Thank you for joining us. Make sure, folks, if you want more action here on the Cougar Sports Network, we've got baseball on Friday, then basketball and softball the following week. Should be a good time. You can always check cocathletics.com and our Instagram and other social media channels for a full live stream schedule. For all of us here at the Cougar Sports Network, we thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next time, maybe on Friday for baseball against LA Harbor College.